Welcome everyone to the Local Service Mastery Podcast. Today I'm thrilled to have with me Connor Newell. Newell? Yeah, am I pronouncing it correctly? Yeah.
Exactly. You got it.
Yeah. Awesome. So Connor, I think what he does, and we're going to talk about videos, okay? And the importance for it to you guys, for you guys to grow your home service business. And I got introduced to Connor through a mutual friend, and I've been working with him both as a contractor for some of my videos, and I'm also using him as a coach. So we have some personal connection, but I thought that this would be something that would be relevant for all of you because obviously video is king. But maybe, Connor, what's up, man, first of all?
Yeah, what's up, dude? Thanks for having me on. It's always good to connect. So looking forward to kind of talking a little bit about what we do, what we're working on, and then, yeah, kind of bringing some value to some people. So should be good.
Definitely, man. And thank you for, clearing the time for it. I know you're super busy with your agency and with everything you do. But I was wondering, and I hope I'm not, putting you on a spot, but do you have some stats on video that are current for like 2022, 2023 in terms of how many videos are being played, or what's the role of video in today's economy?
Yeah, stats off the top of my head, I don't know I have anything ready. I know when it comes to short form, something kind of crazy is that there's over 1 billion views of short form content daily. So when you just think about YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok videos, there's over 1 billion views on those videos every day. So it's definitely taken over in the last couple of years, with the rise, I think, of TikTok really in 2020. I think COVID, with the lockdowns and everything, people kind of turned to their phones as a place to either consume or create or both. And it really just accelerated the pace of short form content. And, obviously Instagram Reels came out with their version, YouTube Shorts came out with their version. So yeah, it's crazy what's happened just in the last couple of years with short form content, how everything's gone from widescreen long form to now short form vertical. So yeah, it's super interesting, but obviously, has a huge impact on businesses, huge impact on your ability to build your personal brand, and a lot of people have taken advantage of it. So
definitely. Yeah. So maybe for those of us who don't know exactly what you do, can you give us in a nutshell what it is exactly that you do?
Yeah, for sure. So I own, easiest way to say it is a short form video editing agency. Before that, I was kind of all things video production, so had a background in shooting basically brand videos for or like ads for brands and stuff like that. And then kind of got burnt out, so started putting together a video editing offer because I knew you can edit videos from anywhere, you don't have to travel, and you can kind of hire a team to help you scale the business. So started working on that last year in January, and kind of quickly grew into 5 clients, then 10, then 20. Now we have about 30 clients monthly. So yeah, that's what I do.
Beautiful. Now, who are your current clients? Like what type of businesses use you or your services or your agency services for video editing?
Yeah, so we're mainly in the real estate and mortgage space. It's just happened to play out that way. Kind of, you started working with a few real estate agents and mortgage lenders, and that community is big but small at the same time. So a lot of people kind of know each other. So just through referrals, obviously you start posting better videos on your social media, people are going to ask questions, who's doing your video content? So got a lot of that. And yeah, just kind of quickly grew into a lot of real estate and mortgage business owners, but also just kind of any business owner in general who maybe has an online brand, online company, and they're trying to grow their personal brand on social media. So we work kind of with any sort of business owner, entrepreneur who's trying to build their personal brand on social.
Got it. Now, let's dive deep into the kind of the technical part, because I think that this is what keeps a lot of people away from creating videos and building their their brand on whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or wherever it is. Like, let's start off with the basic. How important is gear in order for you to have really high quality video?
Yeah. Gear is probably one of the most sought after things, and people think they need all the best gear, and it's actually probably the least important.
Really?
Honestly, what you need, most people these days have an iPhone, and that's a phenomenal camera to get started. The two best things that you can invest in is a decent quality microphone and a light. If you have a good light on your face and you have a good quality audio to where the audience can hear you clearly, those two things combined with your iPhone can make incredible videos if you know how to use it. So I think it's kind of understanding and figuring out how to optimize the tools you already have. Then when you're ready to kind of level up to the next phase, then you can start investing some real money in gear. But I see a lot of people spend thousands of dollars on gear and not know how to use it or not use it at all because they don't know how. And yeah, it's frustrating. It's like, that's kind of where my coaching offer comes in. It's like, hey, let's help you get the gear that you already have like dialed in so it looks way better than it already does. And then, once you kind of start to monetize, make some money with your content and stuff like that, then let's branch off into some more things and go to the next level. But yeah, gear is definitely not the most important piece of it, and most people think it is, but really it's the substance of your content that's the most important.
Right. And it's funny because this is what usually keeps people away from creating content. And it's like I said, it's not even that important. Now, as far as microphone that you mentioned, I'm using right now like this DJI mic, which is, I don't know, it's not that costly. I think it's like $300, $200 or $300.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing too expensive. And the good thing about it is that it can connect to my professional camera. I went I don't want to say the bad route, but I went exactly like you did. It's like I invested way too much money on gear instead of starting to focus first of all on the content creation part. But it can connect to like a professional camera. It can connect to your iPhone with Lightning adapter. It can connect to your computer with the Type-C connector. So it's like a Swiss knife for Swiss Army knife for audio. So this is my personal recommendation. Have you worked with it before?
I have not personally used the DJI mic. I know Connor, Ricky uses it and loves it. It sounds super good. And I actually just sent one recently to one of my new clients who signed up, and he didn't necessarily have the best microphone. So I said, hey, here you go. Try this one out. So I might order one for myself too. But yeah, honestly, I would probably recommend that as probably one of my top 2 or 3 mics for sure for someone getting started. Like you said, it's like $200-$300. You can use it in a wide variety of ways. It's wireless, so it's not like in the shot or you don't have to plug it in, nothing like that. So yeah, that's a great, like what I'm talking about, like the gear that you do need, like that would be a great starter piece to invest in.
Definitely. Now, okay, so now we understand let's say we're a roofer in Kentucky, and we want to start creating content, video content. Where do we even start?
Yeah, honestly, like the great thing about kind of like your business and your clients being in like the home service industry is you're building like transformations, like whether that's roofing, you're redoing roofs, lawn care, maybe you're cleaning up landscaping. I have a couple lawn care clients, and the cool thing about that is you can just film kind of the transformation videos. You can film the process. You can film behind the scenes. You can show people like, hey, like when we show up to your house to do a job, like here's probably like what your space looks like now. And then we do these things and then we turn it into this. And that could be simple iPhone footage. You know, it's super easy. You can literally set your phone on a tripod, time lapse, do the whole job, and you have a video. So I think that's a great place to start. It's just kind of documenting what you're already doing. Just document the day to day, the behind the scenes, and show people, because when you can go to someone's website or go onto their Instagram and you can scroll through and you can see what they do, you can see the jobs that they've done, you can see these transformations, get a little behind the scenes sense of who they are, you're going to be more likely to hire them because you feel like they're kind of building that personal connection with you. So rather than just having a couple pictures or like words or whatever, if someone can go in and like watch your videos and be somewhat entertained by it, then they're going to be more likely to hire you. So that's definitely where I would start.
Yeah, I want to share 1 second. I want to see if I can share this. Hold on. Some technical stuff. All right. Let's see now if I can share this. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So this guy, he does like pressure washing and soft washing, and all his videos are the simplest. There's only narration going on in the background. He doesn't even talk to the camera, but it's all like this.
Yeah.
And look at the amount of views that he's getting.
Dude,
it's like,
I know.
it's crazy.
There's a guy, he's on TikTok, he's an electrician, and he's massive. I think he probably almost has 1 million followers or something, but all he does is just like, he has an assistant at the job site with him, and as he's like kind of plugging in each thing or cutting out whatever he needs to cut out to run, you know, new power or anything like that, he just shows you like, this is what I'm going to do now, and then like does it, and then shows him like, now this is what I'm going to do, and like he takes him from the beginning stages, shows him kind of each step, and then at the end, his thing that he always says is like, and this is your end result, and it's the completed job. And it's such an easy but effective way to use video to show people what you do, your expertise, and kind of build credibility with your audience.
And I think that, like, I don't know, I haven't checked it like scientifically, but I think it kind of goes into some primitive thing that we have inside our brain where like we like seeing other people do their craft. Like all of a sudden I find myself, you know, getting sucked into a 7-minute video of some guy building a hut out of mud in, you know, in Timbuktu or wherever it is, and like he's building a pool, and I'm just drawn to watching it, and it's just like placing a camera, putting it on, you know, 3x, you know, the speed, and just letting it roll. And these are mesmerizing videos.
Yeah, they are, and they're so effective. I have a buddy who's building a shipping container home Airbnb up in Washington, and he has a video background like me, so granted, it's a little easier for him to know how to do this video stuff, but still, he filmed everything with his iPhone. All he did was set it on a tripod. I would say 90% of his videos, he puts on a tripod, sets it to time-lapse mode, and then builds whatever he's building at the house, whether that's laying his hardwood floor, whether that's building the deck, you know, putting up wall, like whatever it was, he would just time-lapse it. And dude, his account now for his Airbnb has over 700,000 followers, and he hasn't even opened it for rent yet. Wow. And yeah, it's completely changed the scope of his business for this Airbnb rental because he was able to use video to build an audience, and it, you know, wasn't anything crazy. It's just time-lapse videos of documenting what he was doing. So
right.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it touches on the importance of, you know, what we do also on our one-on-one calls and on the group calls, of the importance of brand building So if you can maybe speak a little bit about that and how video, connects to personal brands and the importance of it and its effect on a business. I'd love to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, number one, almost like more than anything, it just builds credibility. When someone can come to your Instagram or go to any of your social medias and scroll through and consume content of you talking to the camera, showing who you are, showing your personality, giving value to where your client or potential client can take that and literally go and use today, that's super valuable and it builds credibility. I have a buddy down in San Francisco or San Jose. He's a realtor down there, and I talk to him all the time, and he's like, dude, I loved that video that you talked about how to use cinematic mode on your iPhone. And he's like, dude, I took that and I changed like all my settings. And it's just content like that, like content where your client or prospects can take and literally implement today. And I feel like a lot of people want to hold stuff back because they're like, oh, well, like I charge for that. Like, that's how I make my money. Like, I need to teach people these things. But like that's what people pay me for. But what I found is the more value you give out there, like the more inclined people are going to want to actually work with you to help them get to the next step or the next level. So I feel like a lot of people hold stuff back because they feel like they should charge for it or,
they don't want to give out the farm. Yeah,
exactly. Like just give it all out there. People will actually be more inclined to pay you, even if it's literally just implementing it for them. Like you might teach them and show them everything, but they're like, I just want you to do it for me. Like I understand the value of it and I understand the process, but like I just want you to actually take the time to do it and set it up. So I think that's huge. I think it builds a ton of credibility by putting out video content and building your brand online.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing is that there are two things. One is if that person who watched the video, is planning on doing it himself, it's not like he's going to watch your video and all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to use his service. Like he would have found another video. He's like a do yourself, DIY or DIY kind of person. That's his thing. And that's totally fine. But a lot of people, especially when they see how complex the thing is, or how much work it takes, or how accurate you need to be, or whatever it is, they'll be now. I'd rather take like a professional guy to do it for me. Yeah, I can do it myself, but I have other things to do. So that's number one. And number two is, especially when it's more related to like coaching business, and like a lot of people like talk about the information, and I'm always saying like we live in like an information era where information is free. Like people aren't paying for for that piece of content of how can I run Google ads at a specific ROI, or how can I do this and that. It's more about the transformation, like you said, and it's also being around a group of people that are similar to you, and that you're going through that process together, which is what I found is the most powerful thing about coaching programs as a mentor and as a student myself.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Coaching for me has been so transformational, and getting around like-minded people and really just like shortcutting everything. Like it's a shortcut because you're learning from people who have already done what you're trying to do or made the mistakes that you're about to make. So if you can cut all that out and literally just learn on like an accelerated path, it's such a huge growth hack. There's something else I was going to say there and I'm forgetting.
We'll get back to it. Don't worry about it.
It'll come back to me.
Yeah. Now, okay, so we recorded that video. We put on a tripod. We put it on time lapse. We recorded ourselves on the job. Now what? What's the next step?
Yeah. Next step would probably be, I would probably throw it in an app like CapCut to speed it up maybe a little more even. Or even if you got a couple different angles, you could basically put each video in there. So you got one angle from here for like 5 or 10 seconds, go to the next clip, do that angle for 5 or 10 seconds. So I would do that. And then honestly, it's as easy as uploading to Instagram and picking a trending sound. You know, what are kind of the sounds that you hear frequently or have a ton of views? And, you know, select one of those and let the algorithm kind of do its thing. You know, you don't have to do any crazy growth hack or anything like that. Like maybe pop in a couple hashtags so Instagram knows who the audience is that you're trying to reach. But for that type of stuff, it's pretty easy when it comes to just cutting some clips together and adding a trending sound. That is huge for performance for sure. And then posting on all the platforms too. You know, don't short yourself and only post on Instagram. You might as well post on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Facebook, because there's going to be people on those apps who maybe won't see your videos on the other ones. So that's a great way to get more reach and get more views out of your videos.
Got it. Cool. Now you touched on, you know, some tips, and this takes me to our like the next question, which is like, what are some key tips to make a video tick? So you talked about, you know, throwing up a couple of hashtags. Is it still relevant in 2023?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, general hashtags can be good. It's not like it used to be like back in, you know, 2015 or anything like that, where people would either search by hashtags or there's different like hashtag categories even in Instagram. But I think now more than anything, it just kind of helps Instagram know like, okay, maybe this is the location where they are, or this is like the niche that they're in or the industry. You don't need to spam 30 hashtags, but like you could pop in 5 hashtags and that can help your content.
Got it. Okay, so we have hashtags, we have trending audio. Like, what are some, like, let's say, you know, like call to actions, like things that like make video. And again, right now we're talking even before going into a professional video editing studio like yours, but just by ourselves, how can we make sure that our content is, you know, getting, you know, the best results, or what should we expect to begin with these videos?
Yeah. A couple things I would say if you're just starting out editing or making your own videos is make them shorter than you think and cut the clips faster than you think as well. I see a lot of people, you know, they make these videos and they turn into this 60-second or 90-second long video because the clips are all 8 seconds long, which doesn't sound like a long time, but for short form content it is. Like ideally something should happen every 2 to 3 seconds. So every 2 to 3 seconds something should be happening in your video, something should be changing, color of text should be changing, maybe a sound effect comes in, maybe an emoji pops in, something needs to happen every 2 to 3 seconds to kind of keep the pace of the video moving. But then if you're cutting, like for example, something that's really hot right now, or at least I see a lot of, are like day in the life videos, where people just film kind of their day to day, waking up, getting coffee, maybe driving to work or going to get a workout in, sitting down at the desk, getting some work done, stuff like that. And those clips should only be 1 to 2 seconds, you know, like each individual clip should only be like 1 to 2 seconds. People will make some of those videos and they're 4 or 5 second long clips, but the problem is if that doesn't grab the person's attention in the first 2 seconds, or something doesn't change in the first 2 seconds, they're going to scroll by. Like that's just what happens. I find myself doing it all the time. If I watch a video and it's just the same thing for like 3-4 seconds, nothing's happened yet, a new clip hasn't been introduced, I scroll to the next one because I'm like, oh, this is all that video is. You know, so I think keeping in mind, keeping the pace going and keeping things moving faster than expected.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, like these type of videos, this is for all of you guys who are working in tech, this is the sure way to get yourself fired in 2023. Like all these I work in Twitter, I work in TikTok, I work in Facebook, not doing anything all day. Don't do it.
Yeah. I've seen those like, this is a day in the life at Google, and it's like, woke up, took a nap, made food, played games, and it's like,
Yeah.
are you working?
And 24 hours later, she's showing that she got fired from the company.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
No.
So let's talk about like the different platforms and what are some of the differences between YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and should we approach all of them as one bracket, or should we have specific content for YouTube and specific content for Instagram and TikTok?
Yeah.
What's the best way to go about it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to close this blind super fast because I'm getting blinded by the sun, but...
Go for it.
1 second. So, yeah, the different platforms, obviously I get asked this question a lot, and a lot of people are like, should I just post the same videos here that I do there? And the short answer is yes. Like, whatever videos you make, you should post them on every platform. Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, LinkedIn even is a great one to focus on, especially if you're in the B2B space. So yeah, definitely post them on every platform. The way I kind of like to think about the different platforms is Instagram should be thought of like as your website, and that is your conversion tool. Because think about, you have your link in your bio, you can put links in your stories, and you can have DM conversations with people. And you can use all those tools to actually convert followers, people who comment, leads into actual paying customers. Whereas YouTube Shorts, you can't really convert anyone there. There's not really a profile with your website on it. You can't have DM conversations. Same thing with TikTok. Facebook's probably a little better, but you should think of kind of using these other platforms to drive traffic to your Instagram. Because then from your Instagram, you can sell in stories, you can sell through the link in your bio, and you can sell through the content in your feed, as well as DMs. So that's kind of how I like to think about it. Is like, yeah, put the content everywhere, but then Instagram should be like your conversion tool. So that's where you're actually converting people. Maybe you're creating the content that says like, hey, send me a DM, or link is in the bio. That'd be a great place to convert people. And then your other content should be circulating on the other platforms, driving traffic to your Instagram page. So, yeah.
Now in terms of, okay, let's say this is great for us to begin, but then, obviously there's like the long form types that it's not for Reels. Reels is what, like under 90 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So we have the long form on YouTube and on TikTok. How long is a video on TikTok?
I think TikTok now you can actually do 15 minutes. So they really expanded it. Yeah, you can upload really long videos there. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not sure. The only thing that I ever see that's like long form on there, and maybe it's just my feed because I like it, but it's like stand-up comedy clips. See a lot of those, and obviously those are a little longer. But no, I mean, it's definitely still intended to be short form, especially the viewing experience of a vertical video. Like, it's not how we naturally view content. Obviously, movies, widescreen, YouTube content, widescreen. So I would still focus on making it short form, even though they do allow videos up to 15 minutes long. So yes, definitely still focus on the short form.
Mm-hmm. And like we talked about one type, which is basically just filming the transformation that you do on your job. At what point should someone consider going and working into like a video editing agency, and what's really the benefits of working with an agency versus doing it all by myself?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things, well, two things. Number one, you're going to get better videos. Unless you are a professional video editor and you've been doing it for years, an agency is just going to have more skilled talent than yourself. Your talent is building a business and getting new clients and providing a high quality service. Your skill set isn't necessarily being a professional video editor. So that's number one, finding a team who can create really high quality content for you. That's going to be better than what you can create on your own. Second thing is going to be a time saver, because now you don't have to spend, multiple hours every week editing your own videos. You can just delegate that out, outsource it, send your content to a team, and have them work on it while you're working on your business. So those are the two things I like to tell people. Like, obviously, if you're just getting started, maybe you don't have the budget for it yet, then yeah, do it on your own until you get to a point where your business can afford to outsource it, but outsource as soon as you can, because then you can start to scale, because now your team is working on editing your videos 24/7,
Right.
while you're still working on your business, because you only have so many hours in a day. So maybe you can edit 1 or 2 videos a day, whereas if you have a team, they can do 4 or 5 or 6. So
Right.
opens it up to
Definitely
scale.
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Now, what are some of the the most popular styles of content and editing things that you see in 2023? Obviously, the Hormozy style took over the entire Instagram feed. Is there anything else that you're seeing that is starting to pop up?
It's super interesting you say that. Everyone gawks over the Alex Hormozy style of content, and I see it all the time. I'm sure you see it all the time, is editors or ads that say, we'll create Alex Hormozy style videos for you. The problem with that is it's less the editing style and it's more the substance of the content. Like, the number one thing people should be worried about is how good is your hook in your video. Because if your hook is not good, I don't care how good of an editor you have. You could literally have Alex Hormozy's personal team of editors editing your videos. But if you're boring as hell on video, no one's going to watch it, no matter how good it's edited. So number one, you have to have a killer hook to grab the audience's attention.
Sorry to cut you off, Connor, but for some people watching this, they don't even know what a hook means. So maybe you can explain that.
For sure. Yeah. So the hook is basically the first, 3 to 4 seconds of your video. And it's telling someone in a creative way what they can expect from this video that they're about to watch. So it's basically telling them, like, hey, this is the number one reason why you struggle with blank. And here's what you can do to fix it. That would be an example of a hook. That might not be the best one because it's off the top of my head, but that's basically what I'm referring to, is like the first 3 to 4 seconds of your video, grab the person's attention and tell them what they can expect from the rest of this video. Then you want to dive into the actual context, and you want to explain it in a very simple way. I see a lot of people make things more complicated than they need to be. They use industry terms that they only understand. I like to tell people, create your video content and explain it in a way that a 5th grader could understand it. Really break it down, create a framework that makes sense and is digestible by someone who doesn't know all of your industry terms or isn't fully educated on those things. So keep it super simple, keep it short and to the point, and yeah, start it off with a good hook. So that's definitely what I would recommend.
Got it. So you're saying that it's not necessarily like the style where like we have these big captions that I'm using as well, and I know some of your videos have it as well, but it's more about having a good hook and telling the story in a compelling and easy to understand way. Like that's the Hormozy style, and that's almost like a philosophy, I would say, and it's like it's evergreen. It's like it's how people want to consume information, if I get it correctly.
Yeah, no, 100%. It would actually be super interesting to watch like Alex's videos without the captions or anything and just like see from like a bare bones standpoint, like how good is his hook? How good does he explain, what he's trying to get across in a short and simple way? Remove the crazy captions, remove any of the emojis, sound effects, like remove all of that. Like, how good is the actual base video? Because that's what really matters. And then obviously the editing helps, like that takes it to the next level. But it's not like I like to say you can't polish a turd. So if
Yeah.
you're starting off with a crappy video, there's not really much you can do with the editing to make it interesting. So
Right, right. Now, let's say, okay, I want to start producing better content. I want to get better at, speaking to a camera, which is a challenge for a lot of people. They don't like to be public. They don't like to put themselves in the front. Like, what are some of your tips for home service business owners who are watching this and they want to get over this, this fear or anxiety of just speaking to a camera like I am, because this is not normal, speaking to
yeah.
this black thing, instead of, watching you here on the screen. So what are some of the tips and, gestures, or how do I conduct myself better when speaking to a camera?
Yeah, for sure. Couple of things, and we went over this on our coaching call yesterday, but one thing to understand is to realize that no one's expecting you to talk about things that you aren't knowledgeable about. Like, no one's expecting you, if you're a window washer, to talk about roofing or to talk about anything else. Like, they're only expecting you to talk about the things that you know. So understand that. Like, no one's expecting you to explain things or talk about things that you have no idea about. So you're just sharing your knowledge that you already have. Number two would be, look, if you're nervous about putting out content, you're nervous about being on camera, just try to film some more videos, but don't actually post them. Just film, like, maybe think about like a 3-minute kind of like training or tutorial or something that you can talk about, and make that video, and then don't post it, and then do it again and do it again. Just kind of do it week by week until you actually feel comfortable. Because if you do that for a month, if you make 1 or 2 videos a week and just practice talking to the camera and you never post that, after a month, you'll start to feel comfortable and you'll be like, hey, like, actually, I'm way ahead of where I was 4 weeks ago. Like, I think I actually start posting this content. And then you start posting the content and you realize that people are actually like, oh, wow, this is actually this is really good advice. This is cool. Like, rarely are people going to shit on you for putting out content when you're just starting. So yeah,
Especially
that's
if it's
one thing.
especially if it's helpful, especially if it's like
Exactly.
you're coming to give advice and you're not trying to, do I don't know, like a big ad that's trying to bring on client. You're just sharing
Right.
advice.
Right. You'll be surprised by how much, or you'll be surprised by how little your audience knows about your industry too. So you'll start talking about like something that you think is very basic knowledge for most people. You think everyone should know this, and you make a video on it, and so many people will say, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that." Or like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm going to try that out." Like, I even, get it a lot is all the conversations with people, and they'll ask me questions that are like very fundamental, very basic, that I think everyone kind of knows, because I grew up in the social media age. I grew up with phones and the internet and all these tools, so it's second nature to me, but not to everyone. So I have to take a step back sometimes and realize, like, oh, like, there are certain things that I take for granted that other people don't know, and it's like I should still make content on that as well. So I think you'll start to see, like, oh, like, all this stuff that I take for granted, a lot of people don't know and get value from it. So that's super helpful.
Beautiful, beautiful, man, beautiful. Any last words of advice for that, that home service business owner watching this video, and, just want to make 2023 the year that he's like taking his video content to the next stage, and just like start producing more content?
Yeah, hit record, man. Just
Hit record.
hit record. Too many people overthink it. And the thing is, every day that you don't post a video, your competition is posting content. And you're losing day by day that your competition is getting ahead of you by posting content. And the thing is, you could start today, you can make a video, and if you just stay consistent with it over a 6-month period, you'll be 6 months ahead of where you would be if you wait and start 6 months later.
Right.
So just start today, just make a video, and start developing that skill set. It'll take time. You won't be a rock star out of the gate, but
Right.
give yourself 6 months and you'll look back and be like, oh man, those videos I made 6 months ago were horrible, but I'm in such a better place now, and it's really helped my business grow because I took action.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. And last question, how often, like if I'm just starting out, how often should I post?
Honestly, I think if you're just starting, you could still post every day. I think you can make one post every day. I would focus on being really active on stories. That's probably a great place to kind of start and get your feet wet, is maybe posting some behind the scenes stories each day. And then, yeah, try to make a video every day, or, if not every other day. But those reps are going to compound over time, and that's what's going to really develop your skill set. I would say early on, it's all about quantity. Quantity, quantity, quantity. Get as much video content out there as you can. Make as many videos as you can. Make as many mistakes as you can. Because over time, those skill sets, you'll build your skill set faster by doing that. Then once you get to a point where your content's kind of doing better, you've learned a lot, you've grown a lot, then you can kind of take a step back and realize, okay, what content performed the best? What do I enjoy creating the most? What gives me the most value? And then focus on increasing the quality of that, and maybe dial back the quantity. So I think early on it's quantity, 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 quantity. Get as much out there as possible. Test it, see what works. Go back, now up the quality, and maybe dial back the quantity a little bit. So that's kind of the starting point that I would tell people to go with.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, Connor, thank you so much for doing this, man. Where can people find you?
Yeah, Instagram's a great place. Connor Newell ___. And then verticalvideopro.com is my company. So between those two, you can reach me. So.
And he's huge on TikTok. How many followers you have on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok, like 340K.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. So again, Connor, thank you so much. For the rest of you guys, make sure to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more content to help you learn how to grow your home service business past the 50K mark a month. And of course, if you want to learn how to do it by mastering lead generation, feel free to hit the link below, localservicemastery.com, where you can apply and see if your business qualifies to join our program, where we teach you from A to Z how to master lead generation, so you don't need to count on anyone else for the growth of your business. Thank you so much for everyone who've been here. Thank you again, Connor, and I'll see the rest of you guys here next time. Peace.
Cool.